Hello, everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick. This is a daily ramble. I hope you're all well. It's that time of the month where we give our long-term channel sponsor a shout-out, the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company. If you can see me tickling it there. You will find the link to their store in our description. They're our long-term channel sponsors. You know, we don't go near anyone else. They're West Ham run. Great guy that runs it called David. All things tea, coffee, hot chocolate, and accessories. My favourite, just behind me, Pluckley Tea. Give it a bash. It's really good stuff, cheaper than the supermarkets, and even cheaper if you use our discount code Claret15 at checkout. All right, link in the description. Go and have a look. Okay, one more sleep, and we face off at home against Leicester to get our own back. I mean, when we played them last time, we did blitz them, didn't we? I think we had about 30 shots on goal, and they proper smash and grabbed us. Our defence has been pony though, innit? You know, but we did give it a go. You know, it was all guns blazing from old Floppy, but we just weren't putting our chances away. We've got to beat them tomorrow. I'm going to go on to talk about that game in a bit. There's a few other things I want to touch on first. I found get that little win against Arsenal. You know, a little club like Arsenal. It's weird how it sort of picks you up, isn't it? I mean, we win there every year. You know, it's no big deal. So I don't know. It's just weird what it does to you mentally. Do you know what I mean? I even watched all the football last night, so there were some interesting results. You had Fulham beating Wolves. You had Brighton beating Bournemouth. But the big one was Palace winning only their second game at home all season, which shocked me, against Aston Villa. They battered them. I mean, Aston Villa did have 2 goals disallowed. That was a fantastic game, and I will say the atmosphere at Selhurst Park, it was bouncing in there. It was shit songs. Wee, 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 and glad all over. But it was noisy. It was intense in there. Fair play to them. They're a good team. A couple of players away, I reckon, from being a very good team. It's going to be a very interesting run-in this season for teams to try and sort of push to either get Europe or get themselves up that table, because there's a lot of teams picking up form. We're not on our own. I mean, we're picking up form as well. We're going to talk about that. And that's why momentum is key. We've got to keep building. Who's going to be a Brentford fan tonight? I am. Come on, Thomas Frank. You beautiful Deirdre Barlow-haired person. I reckon Everton are going to get stuff tonight. You know, hopefully the new manager bounces over. Sorry, I won't talk about David Moyes anymore. Come on, Brentford. Come on. And there's loads of other games tonight as well before our one tomorrow. But we're going to talk about our one next. So, obviously, we face off at home against Leicester. Now, we've just beat Arsenal. Brilliant. We've proved that we can. It wasn't a complete and utter low block. I'm not saying it was. There was far more to it than that. It wasn't a Moyes block. It weren't. When we went forward with purpose. We had a plan. We executed it. It was perfect. It was beautiful. It was stunning. But it was against a team that want the ball, and we did play counter-attack. It's 2 different games, you know? 2 different games. When you're expected to be us versus when you're expected to be Arsenal playing a team that was doing what we was doing, you know? You've either got a sort of sucker puncher team on a counter-attack who are basically trying to break your block down, or you've got to be the team that breaks down the opposition when you're playing an inferior team. I've not seen us do that yet. I want to see us do that at home against Leicester. I want to see us come out the blocks. I want to see a positive home performance, and I want to see us take the game to Leicester. I don't even care if they score. We can outscore them. We've got so much. We shouldn't be scared against Leicester. You know, we shouldn't be scared. We don't have to be terrified of Leicester. We've basically we've got to give the home fans something to cheer about, because the way that we've been approaching games at home, you know, more or less all season has not been acceptable, and it hasn't changed under Posse yet. So I want to see that tomorrow, and I'm quite excited. This is how I'd like to see us line up. I'm sure you can imagine one of the exclusions from my lineup, right? But this is how I would like us to line up. I do think that this is a game where we don't need Thomas. I get it against Arsenal. Their main threat, they are set-piece FC. As Gary said on the phone-in, they're set-piece FC. I do get it. It made sense to play him because it does give you that, you know, that kind of aerial prowess in both boxes. And he provided a bit of a threat up the other end as well. But this is a different game. This is a game where we've got to get the ball down, play, cut the opposition open. I'd like to see James Ward-Prowse keep his place. Yep, I would, because I want him to build on some brilliant performances. He's really looking good. And as I've already said, he's a footballer. He can play, you know, helps us retain possession, doesn't always look for the worldy pass, and his work rate's been fantastic. Less said about him being mugged off by Raya, the better. I bet he ain't going to live that one down in a changing room. So that's how I'd like to see us set up. I don't want to see us go back to a back four. I don't. I want this to be our formation now. Let's settle into a rhythm. You know, Potter has got a bit of a reputation for tinkering. He did it a lot wherever he's been. You know, he doesn't always, right, that's a winning team, I'm going to stick with it. There's no guarantees that he's going to do that. We could just see a completely different team again. I would like to see us stick with that on, for this game. Go with three at the back. We know that Kilman is comfortable. We know that Cresswell can play there really well. I think it helps Scholes and it helps Kilman, and Todibo absolutely has to start ahead of Mavropanos. That was a brilliant first game back. It was. He was superb. Only lasted an hour, but I was really impressed with him. And the imperious Wan-Bissaka obviously keeps his spot. I'd like to see Alvarez dropped deeper in the Souček role. So you've got kind of a partnership with Alvarez and James Ward-Prowse. You've got a destroyer in Alvarez and also someone that can carry the ball from deep. And you've got someone in James Ward-Prowse who can just keep recycling that ball, And I want to see Mo played in a 10 after that fantastic performance against Arsenal. I want to see him plonked right in the middle of our team, in the hole, behind Bowen, and with Ferguson's first full Premier League debut, give him a full game. Driving runs from midfield and all that work. I think the balance between Bowen and Ferguson will work really well. I just want to see us go for it against Leicester. I really do. I know it sounds silly. This is more about the performance for me than the result, this one. The Arsenal game was all about the result. It was, it was all about the result. Win at all costs against Arsenal because I can't stand them. Leicester, this is more about how we approach the game. I'm not saying that Leicester are the type of team that sit and block, by the way. They don't really. They leave themselves wide open. They're quite naive. That's why they've conceded so many goals. I mean, they conceded 4 in the first half against Brentford, but then again, we could have as well when we played them. We did concede 3. 2 were disallowed, weren't they? I'm sure it was 2, wasn't it? Yeah, whatever, anyway. So what I'm saying is they do leave gaps because Van Nistelrooy, for whatever reason, they've got to go for the wins. There's no point in the likes of Leicester and Ipswich just sitting there, trying to keep it respectable. They've got to go out there, try and create chances and try and take them. We've got better players than them. We've got to basically... I want to see us just go toe-to-toe with them and rip them to pieces. If we score early, that could be a bloodbath. If we go out there and we score early, we could have a really, really good night. And it's nothing against Leicester. I'm not saying I want to relegate them or anything like that. They've relegated themselves through being so shit this year. We ain't been great. We need something big at home. Those fans that have been going all year... I went to the Brentford game. It weren't nice. It was not a nice experience. Just give them something back. The home support. The away support always has a good time. Let's give the home support something to cheer about because we can rip Leicester to pieces. We're a far superior team than them. We are. Football isn't always as black and white as that. It's not the way it works, as we found out when we beat Arsenal at the weekend. But, yeah, I believe, a team like Leicester... where they are in the league, off the back of their run of form, we're off the back of a great win. We should be building on that confidence. I'd like to see Potter entrust the players on the pitch rather than, that's defensive enough. When you look at that, if you've got Alvarez there as well, that's a lot of defenders. With Wan-Bissaka, Scholes and Alvarez, it's 5 defenders, isn't it? It's a lot. 6 defenders, sorry, can't count. So, no, for me, this is how we should play. And I think that we will rip Leicester City to pieces. I really do. I'm going to go on to talk about Pac-Man in a minute. Not in too much detail like some others I'm sure have. But, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But, yeah, let me know what your predictions are in the comments anyway. I'm going to go for, sticking to what I said in the Sunday night show, I'm going high. I'm going 5. We're going to beat them 5-0. 5 without reply. That's what we're going to do. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Vardy. Right. So, Lucas Paqueta, obviously there's been more developments about him today. I'm not going to go into it and talk about it because I think it's, I just feel like it's trial by social media, trial by mainstream media as well. I don't think this stuff should be spoken about. It really shouldn't. I hate the way that this is going to be decided as well, which is on the balance of probability, which is basically Lucas Paqueta's career is going to be decided off the back of an opinion of someone. That's it. They don't need definitive proof. They don't need definitive evidence. They just don't, because it's a civil case. That's all they need. And it's disgusting and it stinks. This is a big deal, you know. It really is. And the FA are a mess themselves. I mean, they've just been beat by Man City, for God's sake. You know, they've found some loopholes. I think Paqueta should employ their legal team, because they seem to have the FA over a barrel. I'm confident. I'm confident that Paqueta is going to get away with this. I think that he will. I think this would be a massive risk for the FA. They're going to have mud on their face, because if I was Lucas Paqueta, I'd fight it to the death. Even if I did get banned, I would fight this all the way through. And you can imagine the damages that the FA would be liable for, you know, not just to West Ham, but to the player as well. All those earnings, you know, it's awful what's going on. How this can happen without full definitive proof, I don't know. They haven't got it. They haven't got it. They've got the ramblings of a madman whistleblower who's basically a grass and will say anything to cover his own arse anyway. So his word means absolutely nothing. It means nothing, because the geezer's obviously a bit of a dirtbag. He's a dirty grass. We don't like them in East London. We don't. So no, I'm staying positive. I'm not going to talk about it in too much depth. I'm not. I have to hope and pray that Lucas Paqueta is going to be absolved of this nonsense accusation. All right? He would never do such a thing. He wouldn't. Love him to pieces. I'm going to support him either way. Yeah, and I hope he's back soon. I hope he gets to play for us again. I do. I hope he does get to play for us again. Like some people are saying he might not have. He might not, sorry. So, yeah. Anyway, look, that's enough about Pac-Man. I did say I weren't going to, you know, I didn't want to talk about it before, and I really don't. I think that West Ham fans should just be supporting him. In fact, the club should just be supporting him. They should be coming out in defiance of all of these reports, you know. I'd like to see the board come out and support him publicly as well, but I don't think they're going to. Anyway, look, that is it from me. We are going to be back tomorrow. It could be me doing a watch along, because I'm not too sure whether. Well, no, Mickey should be doing a watch along tomorrow. So I'll be doing a post match. We might even do something pre-match. I don't know. There'll be a few bits and pieces, but I will wait up after the game tomorrow. I'll do my little review, and we'll do the phone-ins on me live post match show. All right. So it'll be good chatting to a few of you tomorrow. Right, that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed the show. Speak to you all soon. Come on, you irons.